I'm Cory, founder of Auto Advisor. The fastest dealer to answer a lead usually wins it, and most leads come in when nobody's on the floor. So we built a sales agent that answers in seconds, day or night. This is the sales agent. It's the part of your dealership that never sleeps, never lets a good lead go cold, and never costs you a deal you'd already earned the right to win. Over the next few minutes, I want to show you exactly what it does, how it stays safe, and what your store feels like once it's running. So let's start with the lead you never knew you lost. It's 9:14 on a Tuesday night. Someone's on their couch, scrolling Auto Trader, and they find your truck. They send a message. Is it still available, and would you take their Civic on trade? Here's the thing about that moment. Your lot is dark, but the shopping never stopped. Half of the people who will buy from you this month are looking after hours, on a phone, when nobody's at the desk to answer. By the time your team sees that message the next morning, the shopper has already messaged 4 other dealers and toured one of them. The lead didn't die because it was bad. It died because nobody answered in time. And here's the number that quietly decides it. Answer in the first 5 minutes and you're in the deal. Wait an hour and you're a follow-up email they delete without reading. So let's meet the agent that actually answers. What is a sales agent, really? It isn't a chatbot and it isn't a blast of canned texts. It's software that watches every lead the moment it lands, understands what the person actually asked, and takes the real next step. A reply, a question, a booked appointment. Picture that same 9:14 message. The agent sees it land and answers in seconds, in plain language, like one of your best people on their best day, not a form letter. The new lead slides in, the truck they want, and the trade they're sitting on. And the agent replies right away, confirms the truck is still here, asks 2 smart questions about the Civic, and offers a real time to come in. And on the other end, this is what it feels like for the customer. A fast, human reply at the moment they cared, not a "thank you, we'll be in touch the next afternoon." By the time you wake up, it isn't a cold lead anymore. It's a Saturday at 10 appointment, already on the calendar, with the trade details attached. And this is happening across every channel at once. The website form, the marketplace messages, the call that went to voicemail. Nothing sits in a queue waiting for someone to get to it. But answering is just the start. Here's what it actually does once it's in the conversation. When there's a trade, the agent kicks off the appraisal, pulls the vehicle, the mileage, the options, so your team walks into the conversation already knowing roughly where the number lands. And on every single lead, it quietly captures the things your closers actually need, so nobody has to dig for them later. It keeps the right vehicle in front of the right shopper, follows up on the ones who went quiet, and re-engages the lead from 3 weeks ago that everyone on the floor had already forgotten about. It confirms the appointment, and then it reminds the night before, the morning of, so the buyer who booked at 9:14 actually shows up at 10 instead of quietly ghosting. And every lead runs the same disciplined path every time, no matter how slammed the floor gets. Now here's the part that makes it more than a faster autoresponder. It gets smarter the longer it runs on your store. It isn't frozen the day we turn it on. It watches what actually works on your lot, which replies turn into appointments, which appointments turn into sales, and it leans into more of what's winning. And the way it learns is simple and safe. You correct it once. A human on your team approves the change. From then on, it remembers, so the same mistake doesn't happen twice. Over a few weeks, it quietly gets to know the things a good salesperson knows in their bones. But, and this matters, it never changes how it talks to your customers on its own. It proposes, a human approves. You stay the one steering the ship. This is the part that feels like the future. except it's running today on dealerships about your size. A crew of agents working your lot around the clock, quietly surfacing the right car to the right buyer in the background. Around 15 specialists across sales and service, yours on day one. And the point was never to replace the handshake. It's to make sure your people are standing in front of the buyer instead of buried in an inbox that never ends. Now, the question every serious owner asks, and should ask first: is it safe to let software talk to my customers? The answer is built into how it works. Every agent runs in one of three modes you control: off, ask me first, or fully automatic. And you can change your mind any morning before the floor opens. And the guardrails aren't a setting you hope somebody flipped, they're the design. Your data stays yours, isolated to your store. It never trains a public model on your customers, and it never quietly shares them with the dealer down the road. And it never asks you to rip anything out. It sits on top of the system you already run. DealerCenter, Frazer, DealerSocket, whatever you run, the agent works right alongside it. And for the first time, your showroom and your service drive are actually talking to each other. So the service writer greets a customer the system already understands: what they bought, when, and what's due, instead of starting cold every time. So here's the before and the after. Before, you're the one holding it all together, answering leads at midnight, watching the good ones slip away on the days the floor gets buried. After, the morning's already handled. Every lead from the night answered. The appraisals queued, the appointments on the board. You walk in with a coffee to run the day instead of chasing it. And the scoreboard moves where it actually counts. More appointments that show, more trades you win, more keys handed over the desk. One last thing: why it's built the way it is. Auto Advisor was built by Cory Salisbury, with engineering experience at Tesla, SpaceX, and Rivian, where an autonomous system has to be safe, has to show its work, and always keeps a human in the loop. That's not a slogan there, it's the whole job. The lesson that stuck with me was simple. You don't rip out the system that works. You put a smarter, safer layer on top of it. That's the entire design. Run it right, and it's your same team, about 40% more efficient. Augmented, not replaced. The people stay, the busy work goes. If you want to see the sales agent working a lot like yours, there's a live demo. No login, nothing to install, at autoadvisorpartners.com/demo. That's life after the system. Every lead answered, your people in front of the buyer. See it on your lot at autoadvisorpartners.com/demo.